On Thursday night, before a crowd of almost 400 at Great Falls High, Malmstrom Air Force Base and other Air Force leaders and stakeholders talked about the impacts of an upcoming modernization of the base's ICBM system.
Will the system start an arms race?
That was just one of the questions posed after Air Force leaders and other experts presented the latest information on the Sentinel program. Sentinel is a modernization of the existing Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic systems. F.E. Warren Air Force Base in Wyoming will be the first on the renovation list. Malmstrom's tentative timeline goes from 2025 to 2033.
From an economic perspective, what you're looking at is a fundamental investment in Montana, in the future defense of our country, and an essential capability that will last long into the future.
The project will update all launch facilities and some control centers. It will replace all 150 missiles in the nearly 14,000 square mile Malmstrom complex and could result in hundreds of miles of utility corridors to connect the facilities, raising the issue of how landowners will be compensated for the loss of their property during construction. The Army Corps of Engineers is bound to offer a fair market price while taking factors like crops into consideration.
As the negotiators come out to your property, you'll have the opportunity to walk with those appraisers. So you can ask them questions, you can hear about their process, and when the time comes, they'll make you that offer.
The program will also create workforce hubs in Lewistown and Great Falls, big enough to house an estimated 3,000 employees. With that many more workers in the area, Great Falls City Commissioner Rick Tryon asked if there would be any government support for additional law enforcement. The panelist who presented the projected impact of Sentinel for Montana said his group is engaging with communities and elected officials about the scale and scope of the program.
So we're trying to inform everybody so that it comes to the type of dollars that can be spent on what. Obviously, we can provide the narrative behind the need, and that's what our documentation is for.
And what happens to the Workforce Hub when the project is complete? One citizen asked if it could be used for homeless housing and was told that could be possible under language in the environmental impact statement.
It can be returned to the state it was in before the Workforce Hub was constructed, or we can work with local stakeholders to find a solution that works for the community.
The current missiles will be moved to Malmstrom one at a time before being shipped out of state to be decommissioned. And as for that question of will the system start an arms race?
We're not building additional ICBMs. We're not adding anything. We're simply replacing what we currently have.
In Great Falls, Tim McGonigal, MTN News.